New breed, global truth.
And the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation. We are a Minneapolis family. But to everybody out there, do not think of these as just somebody else's kids. Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster. These were Minneapolis families. These were American families.
What's going on, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fully convinced that this was another blood sacrifice ritual. That's right. Now, it has elements of a false flag. Some of the people involved seem to be crisis actors. But I'm definitely leaning more towards this being a blood sacrifice ritual. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen, it's pretty much the usual suspect. And what I mean by that is, no criminal record, no motive at all to do what they did. And on top of that, the shooter attacked during a Catholic mass. In case y'all wondering what that is, it's a highly symbolic religious setting for Catholics. And I believe there was a satanic ritual that was conducted. Now, they did this right during a mass, y'all. They did a mass shooting at a Catholic school during a mass. Now, why are they doing this? From my studies, it's to garner sympathy for Catholics. Why? Because the rise of Catholicism is back up in America. You have the whole Goipers movement with that Nick Fuentes guy, where they, you just had a lot of people transition to Roman Catholic religion. And see, that is the core religion of the Babylonian system. And they do believe in sacrifices. They do conduct these rituals. Now, this is real sad. This is real sick. Let's get more into the details. Let's go.
And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
They were in a church. Who did this? A shooter with no criminal history, which we're going to reveal the shooter here in a minute. But this was happening during a high holy ritual for the Roman Catholics while they were praying. Now, this screams satanic ritual. The bloodletting of children is something that these Babylonians do. We're going to call them Babylonians because that's what they are. And they have to do this in the public. It happened inside a Catholic church during a mass. That's the holiest ceremony. And children were the primary victims. So you had blood spilt on the altar, literally. You had blood spilt on the altar right during their ritual. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Moloch worship. This is child sacrifice in the public. You know they got these sleeper cells that they send in to do this dirty work. Are they gonna send the military in to see who coordinated this attack? I doubt that, right? But nonetheless, let's go.
These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country. I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now. My ask is to everyone, stand by them, love them. These families have forever been changed, and we've all been changed with them.
Now, there's some things that's going on that really raise some red flags. So I've been doing my research, and ladies and gentlemen, you know, and these patterns that happen in these shootings, particularly these school shootings, and in this incident, it's always multiple weapons. And they also saying that they found smoke bombs in there, like as if it was done very tactfully, like it took some type of tactician to do this. But they never find explosives, but they find the smoke bombs. The shooters always die at the scene, case closed, no trial, no answer. All of a sudden, there's a rapid official statement condemning the act, but no explanation of a motive. It's the same thing, ladies and gentlemen, over and over. It's something very eerie about this attack.
We need to do everything possible to support them through this time. We have a family resource center that has been set up. I'm grateful for all of the law enforcement agencies from a number of different jurisdictions, all the different departmental support that we've received. They're going to be working tirelessly. There's also a family resource center that is being set up as we speak to make sure that we're there for everybody. Again, to the families that are suffering, to those that have experienced loss, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be with you every step of the way. We love you. This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often.
Now, I don't believe in coincidences. The mayor of Minneapolis says, this is a direct violence against innocent children. I believe this is a ritual. They're mobilizing investigative teams. But of course, they're not going to have any motives. I can guarantee they're not going to give us a motive for this shooting. And it's also going to equivalent to more policy changes, security, gun control, perhaps. And listen, these are the people who conduct these horrendous, heinous acts. Those are the ones who should be losing their firearms. Listen, our resources need to be going towards finding out who these individuals are who are doing this satanic Moloch worship, this blood sacrifice and the bloodletting of children.
The chief will provide additional details.
My name is Brian O'Hara, BRIAN, O''HARA. I am the Minneapolis police chief. Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside on the side of the building and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children.
And see, there's always multiple weapons. I mean, this guy was armed to the T.
And other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews.
Now, I want to say this. You don't really have to speculate in this situation to see how this really looks. We got a Catholic school. They're having a mass at the church. Blood gets spilled in the pews while they're having a ritualistic performance or whatever they're doing in there. Whether you call it a false flag or a blood sacrifice ritual, one thing is for certain, y'all. This symbolism can't be ignored. You cannot ignore the symbolism of what this is. It's a sacrifice. It's Moloch worship, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it on national media.
Their parents have been notified. 17 were injured, 14 of them being children.
Now let's go to that scripture right there. Psalms 106 and 38. They shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. And this land was desecrated by their blood. See, ladies and gentlemen, they have sacrificed their own to serve the God of the Canaanites. Moloch worship is what it is. And see, look, in America, we don't believe that this stuff really happens. It's so surreal. But the Bible says there ain't nothing new under the sun. It may seem surreal to you, but these things still take place. And they have to carry out these rituals publicly. And they do it to remain in control, remain in power. Make no mistake about it. These blood sacrifices are real. Let's go.
2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
So there's case closed. The shooter always has to die on the scene in these mass shootings. It's very similar to what took place in New York not too long ago, a couple months back, when the guy allegedly was aiming after the NFL headquarters. It's the same thing. Why? Because you can close the case. Who sent him? What was his motive? See, it's something very strange going on in America. And I want everybody to like the video. Y'all have to spread this message. Nobody is going to cover this situation the way that you're going to get coverage over here. But y'all have to show some support. Anytime y'all watch my videos, know that they're trying to hide them because I'm speaking the truth. And it's up to you all to like and share the material. We got to get this word out here because part of the magic, part of the spell is to get people to believe that these are random acts of violence. Part of the magic that they put on the people is people just believe everything from face value. And people are not catching on to the patterns.
Hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy.
So here we have this deliberate, and the governor calls it deliberate. I mean, the police chief, he said it's a deliberate act. Now, the word deliberate, somebody share the definition for deliberate. Share the definition for deliberate in the comment section. I need y'all's participation.
Kind of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts.
A deliberate act of violence. A deliberate act of violence. Now, somebody share the word deliberate. On purpose. Intentional. Intentional. On purpose. That means there was a reason. He used the word deliberate, and it was deliberate. It was a blood sacrifice ritual on a high holy day for the Roman Catholics. It was the bloodletting of children. That's why this lone wolf offed himself. So there's no more questions. I'm telling you, this place, this Babylonian system is wicked. It's demonic, man. And everybody don't have the eyes to see. See, they call us crazy because we can see. They call us conspiracy theorists because we can see. No, we understand history. We understand that these people are into sacrifices. We understand what the Idumeans been doing.
Of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
Chief, what can you tell us about the suspect in this case? How old was he? Any kind of motivation? Any notes or any other information you might have left?
So
that is an important question. Could you tell us something about this person? Why did this happen? Listen.
We're looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe,
of course, it's always a lone shooter, right? Let's go.
He is deceased. He is in his early 20s.
Yep.
Does not have an extensive known criminal history.
No criminal history.
And we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive.
Why haven't they released the shooter's name? Why haven't they released the shooter's name? Let me see if they, because this is breaking news. Let me see if it's been updated. Because we could do our own investigation. All right, so, whoa, interesting. Interesting.
For students, do you have about
how many children there were? I don't have an exact. The question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of.
Wow. One moment, y'all. Something real weird just happened on my end. I want y'all to put a 1 in the chat if everything is still streaming. Everything is still coming in clear, because it seems like the cyber attacks is happening. That's what it seems like. I'm about to uncover something, and they're playing some weird games on my end. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to take my platform to somewhere else. That's what it really looks like. I'm gonna have to take my platform to Rumble or something. Because I'm telling you, ain't nobody speaking this truth right now. They want us to just damn believe everything they say, but they giving us a bunch of nonsense. They're giving me errors while searching the name. So, and it showed the name at first, but it was so quick. That's crazy. "23-year-old, wow, flagged for potentially violating our usage policy." Yo, look at this, y'all. I got to show y'all this in real time. Y'all not going to believe this. So I get flagged from ChatGPT for asking the shooter's name. You can't make this up. Flagged. Literally just got flagged. Hold on now. Look at this. Flagged. Flagged. It gave me the name. Gave me the age and name. But you know what they're afraid of? Oh, man, this man is going to actually pull up information on the shooter. He's going to find out who the shooter is. And when he does this, he's going to pull up something on him. Was it Robert? It popped up for a second. Robert Westman. For violating our usage policy. Y'all see this? Y'all see this, right? Now, why are we the people getting such little information on this shooter? Why just a description? He offed himself as done. Kids were taken out. Kids were taken out. I'm telling you.
Of children inside the mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them. Reg.
Was the shooter a student, former student? Was he a former employee?
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
All right, we're going to get that info. It's Robert Westman. See, they thought they can stop it, but we got the name. We got the name. Robert Westman. Let's do our little research right here because this is breaking news. They don't want us doing no profiling. Five minutes ago, it's been updated. And I want y'all to look at this guy. Look at this creep. Look at this creep who did the shooting. Yeah, they just did this 5 minutes ago. That means while I was searching, they were updating, right? Look at this creep right here. This is the guy that they're claiming is the shooter right here. Y'all see him on the right-hand side. But they're claiming to us that, Black America is the problem. But they out here going out here into schools, churches, often children. Now this looks like a damn MK Ultra victim. And I'm not even going to, spin the narrative of some type of mental health situation with this person. No. Because that's what they like to do. Well, maybe it's mental health. Maybe he's one of y'all demons that crawled out of the belly of hell to go conduct a blood sacrifice. Maybe that's the case. He almost looks like AI. He don't even look real. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The rabbit hole is getting deep. The rabbit hole is getting deep. They will make up these people. We may never know what actually happened. This looked like an auto-generated person, like AI, because AI just didn't want to give me no info. So watch this. I got another question. Y'all watching a live investigation here. Is the shooter a real person? Yes. Now they're giving me information. All right. Let's see if I can find his social medias. Man, we got to do the job that Minneapolis police got to do, right? Somebody said, New Breed, they're getting ready to talk to one of the kids' fathers that was unalived. All right, let's go there. Let's go back. I do this on my time. But, this whole situation is just bizarre, y'all. This whole situation is bizarre. Let's finish this up and then we'll go to that.
There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched. And we will be conducting other searches related to this. Inside the parking lot here.
Yep.
There
was some neighbors who said that the door to the church had been barricaded.
Yep. So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least two doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire.
And on the outside.
On the outside, yes.
Were there any explosives that were found?
The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one, I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke.
Now, who is this kid? Who is this kid? How did he know to throw a smoke bomb in there to, you know, blind everyone. Like, what does he have a military background? Who raised him? This definitely sounds like something that's scripted, but I believe the bloodshed is very much real. I believe the bloodshed is very much real because they do their rituals.
Side of the building, north, south.
The side that is closest to us here on this side. Yep.
Any reason why agents are also at these nearby homes?
I don't have specific information on that I can release. The question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
Was this outside or both inside that he was shooting?
We believe he took his own life, or did he take his own life?
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building.
I want y'all to see something that the New York Post just released. Yeah, I would like to know who his parents are too. I'm gonna show y'all something the New York Post just released here. So I'm guessing they got this from his socials. It's got him with a knife with a whole layout of the church. You see this? A whole layout of the church. He has a knife right there in the middle of the pews. Now, was this kid some type of sadist? Was he some sort of sadist? It says this video also shows an entire diary written in both English and Russian. Each page is filled with inscrutable handwritten scrawl. An occasional plume of smoke is seen from the bottom of the screen as the person turning the pages coughs and occasionally manically giggles. Other videos show an obsession with mass shootings or mass shooters, including Sandy Hooks. All right, where's these videos? This is insidious. In his early 20s, opened fire through the stained glass window. We got that. Look at all of this. But y'all want to send the National Guards to our communities? He's writing in Russian because, you know, he's not even American. That's Russian collusion right there. Who are these people? Who are these people? Oh, it's for an agenda. And these Russians are often pushing agendas. The Russians are the ones who popped up at the Cincinnati brawl, starting off something. You know, hey, Trump has been accused of Russian collusion. And every time it's in some event that take place, it's like these Russians are involved. Yeah, I believe it's a straight up sleeper cell. Look at this. Interesting.
So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Is this shooting related to any other shootings that happened in the last
So, yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city.
approximately how many rounds were fired?
The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area. So obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
Was he firing just one weapon, like the rifle? Or...
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
Chief, was his individual license to conceal and carry? Did he have any?
Were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information. And I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either.
Was he dressed at all in any tactical type of gear or anything?
It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, you know, however you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have a lot more work that needs to be done.
Well, something is not right about this. Something is not right about this. I believe it was a ritual. It was definitely a blood sacrifice. And, you know, it was set up by a sleeper cell, you know, and it's just plain old wickedness going on. But, you know, I'm not going to rant and rave about this too long. What I'm going to ask my audience to do is when y'all catch me live, right, y'all going to have to help me get this message out there. Y'all, I know like people come in, y'all just listening. Y'all may be doing what y'all doing out and about, making your moves or whatever, making your rounds. But I'm going to have to ask y'all to take the time in my live streams to hit the like button. I don't really see that much support coming through, super chats, cash apps, or nothing like that. I'm not even asking that. I'm very humble about that. But all I'm asking is that y'all take the time to make sure these videos can fluctuate because it's the truth that nobody's talking about. And it's like I'm going against the platform to get my message out. And it'll take you, the people, to truly support the work because they play these suppressing games all the time with my channel. And I'm not the only channel. There's other channels that go through this too. But in order to break the shadow ban that they got on my channel, I'm going to need y'all's help. So listen, let's spread the word on this because, you know, this is definitely some foul play going on. But hopefully y'all got the message and understood everything. But y'all have a blessed one, man. More material coming. Peace.